What's up guys, NFL coaches, GMs, and scouts have a long list of physical categories to look at when evaluating players. It's always fun to go through each of these areas and determine who the absolute best is in each. Obviously the leaders in categories such as height and weight can't be debated, but which player is most likely made of steel? Who's quicker than lightning? Which receiver defies physics more than anybody else? That and more as we take a look at the NFL's best player in every physical category. Make sure to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos all the time. Subscribe. Tallest. Dan Skipper. The Dallas Cowboys signed undrafted Arkansas offensive tackle Dan Skipper in 2017. This officially made him the tallest player in the NFL at 6'10", barely ahead of the likes of DeMar Dotson, Brian Mahalik, Alejandro Villanueva, who were all listed at 6'9". Skipper and former Kansas City Chiefs tight end, the late Morris Stroud, are tied for the second tallest players in league history. Former Oakland Raiders defensive tackle Richard Sly holds the record at 7 feet tall. He played one season in the NFL back in 1967. Skipper signed with the New England Patriots before the 2018-19 postseason and wound up winning a Super Bowl 53 championship ring. It was quite a tall order, but Skipper did his job in helping the Patriots win it all. Sorry, we had to throw one really bad pun in there. Heaviest. Trent Brown. He's not the tallest player in the NFL, but Trent Brown, in terms of both height and weight, is the biggest. He's 2 inches shorter than Skipper, but Brown is the heaviest player at a whopping 380 pounds. Brown has been all about proving the doubters wrong. He was merely a 7th round pick by the San Francisco 49ers in 2015. He was traded to the New England Patriots in 2018 and was a backbone on their Super Bowl 53 championship team. Brown inked a 4-year, $66 million deal with the Oakland Raiders in the 2019 offseason. What a journey to the NFL it has been for this guy. Fastest. Tyreek Hill. Before his college football days, Hill gained national attention by breaking multiple sprinting records at Coffee High School in Douglas, Georgia. He ran the 200-meter race with a time of 20.14, barely missing out on a record set by Roy Martin 27 years earlier. Harsh as it may sound, Hill can thank his troublemaking cousins for turning him into a world-class speedster. When Hill was only 6 years of age, his cousins would let out a group of wild dogs, and he'd have to find a way to outrun them. During a 2016 game against the Denver Broncos, Hill was clocked at 22.77 miles per hour during a kick return, which is kind of fast. And in a 2018 game against the Los Angeles Chargers, Hill registered a 58-yard reception and was clocked at 21.95 miles per hour. They don't call him Cheetah for nothing. Most durable, Eli Manning. The 2-time Super Bowl champion quarterback was going to probably break Brett Favre's streak of 297 consecutive starts. But former head coach Ben McAdoo made a ridiculous decision to Eli's streak during a lost 2017 season by benching him in favor of Geno Smith. Manning's streak began on November 21, 2004 and lasted until November 23, 2017. 210 straight starts in this day and age is simply remarkable. He barely passed brother Peyton Manning, who had a streak of 208 consecutive starts before missing all of 2011. As the New York Giants starter from 2005 until now, Manning hasn't missed a single start due to injury. Some guys have to miss the odd game, and Tom Brady unfortunately had to miss practically all of 2008, but Manning has been fully healthy his whole career. Simply remarkable, given how bad the Giants' offensive line has been over the past few years. Toughest. Ben Roethlisberger. We'll say this. Any guy who plays in the NFL is tough as nails, because this is one absolutely punishing sport. Quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs especially deserve credit for taking all of those hard hits all the time. Ultimately, we have to give this one to Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Big Ben. Big Ben has taken quite the beating throughout his career. Through the 2018 season, he was sacked 501 times. He's gonna pass Brett Favre for most ever one day. The latter took 525 sacks in his 20-year career. It's not only about absorbing all those sacks when it comes to Big Ben's toughness. Consider these instances. Roethlisberger nearly died in a motorcycle accident during the 2006 offseason, following Pittsburgh's Super Bowl 40 victory. He suffered serious facial injuries, including a broken jaw, yet he rushed himself in recovery and appeared for Pittsburgh's Week 2 game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right, he's only missed one game after nearly dying. Roethlisberger also suffered a broken nose in a 2010 game against the Baltimore Ravens and still led the team to a victory against their arch rivals. He played in a 2011 game versus the San Francisco 49ers despite a bad ankle sprain in which he was seen wearing a walking boot. And finally, he left the Steelers' 2015 wildcard playoff game against the Cincinnati Bengals with a shoulder injury. Ben had to be carted off, but he still came back and led Pittsburgh's game-winning drive that ended with a Chris Boswell field goal. Yeah, that's toughness, alright. Agility. Saquon Barkley. Hard to go against the New York Giants flashy running back for this one. Barkley was hyped up as one of the best running back prospects ever at the 2018 draft. His skill set was so tremendous that the QB QB-desperate Giants passed on all of those elite quarterback prospects so they could nab Barkley. We don't think they'll regret it either. Barkley won the 2018 Offensive Rookie of the Year award, rushing for 1,307 yards and 11 touchdowns, while tallying 91 receptions for 721 yards and 4 touchdowns. Don't believe us about Barkley being the NFL's most agile player? He forced 71 missed tackles in his rookie year, according to Pro Football Focus. We feel sorry for any defensive player who has to try and tackle this guy over the next 10 years. Hops. Ezekiel Elliott. This was an easy one too. Elliott was an elite track and field and hurdling star at John Burroughs School. He won numerous state championships while in high school, including the 110 and 300 meter hurdles. It's no surprise that he was named the 2013 Missouri Gatorade Track Athlete of the Year. Elliott's phenomenal hops and hurdling skills have been on display during his NFL career as well. As if it wasn't difficult enough trying to stop this guy with his big frame and lightning quick speed. Call Saquon Barkley the better running back all you want, but the Giants star will be the first to tell you that Elliott is a superior leaper. Strongest. Aaron Donald. The Los Angeles Rams star is listed at 6'1", 280 pounds. And it's all muscle. He's shredded. There isn't any body fat on there. Donald won his second straight Defensive Player of the Year award in 2018 after tallying 20.5 sacks, leading the Rams to a Super Bowl 53 appearance. But that's not entirely why Donald is our pick for the league's strongest player. During the 2018 offseason, Donald showed just how easy it is for him to bench press 495 pounds. Donald breaks through double teams with relative ease, and there isn't a single more dominant defensive player in the NFL. In fact, Donald is probably the best player in the league right now. Offense or defense. Sorry, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. This dude just crushes. Teams should maybe start quadruple teaming this dude. Hands. Odell Beckham Jr. In determining the best hands, you can't exactly go by catching percentage. Receivers like Beckham receive so many targets, and they're blanketed by the opposition's best cornerback. Not to mention that guys like OBJ haven't had elite quarterbacks to work with throughout their careers. No offense to Eli Manning. Thing is, Beckham makes all of the impossible catches look so easy. His coming out party was that 2014 Sunday Nighter against the Dallas Cowboys, when OBJ made perhaps the greatest catch in NFL history despite being interfered with while falling backwards. But OBJ has had so many terrific one-handed catches throughout his career. It's hard to argue that there's a receiver in the NFL with better hands than this guy. Most coordinated. DeAndre Hopkins. The Houston Texans star defies physics with his ultra-athletic 6'1", 212-pound frame. Hopkins has quickly made his case as the NFL's best receiver. Such is life when the Texans supply him with a good quarterback. Thank you, Deshaun Watson. Hopkins is excellent at tracking the ball and adjusting for it midair. That's what makes him so unique compared to other receivers. He doesn't need Tyreek Hill's speed, OBJ's hands, or Julio Jones' freakish size. Don't forget the clutch grab he made in Week 15 of the 2018 season against the New York Jets that eventually propelled the Texans to an AFC South title. Hopkins also made the catch of the year in 2017 during a Week 17 Christmas game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. How does he do this? If anyone has an explanation, I'd love to hear it. Most physical. Keanu Neal. Many were surprised when the Atlanta Falcons drafted the Florida safety with the number 17 pick in 2016. But GM Thomas Dimitroff and head coach Dan Quinn knew what they were doing the whole time. Quinn was the former Seattle Seahawks defensive coordinator when the team was anchored by the hard-hitting safeties Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. No wonder he was looking to rebuild his Atlanta defense with another physical safety in Neal. So far so good. Neal has been a linchpin in the Atlanta secondary, helping them reach Super Bowl 51 and turning the unit into one of the NFL's best in 2017. Neal unfortunately tore his ACL in Week 1 of the 2018 season against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Falcons' defense fell apart, missing the playoffs altogether. Here's a reminder of just how much Neal likes to punish you in the open field. And don't forget that many scoffed at the Falcons for taking Neal. Yeah, the guy might be even more scary than Chancellor and Thomas were in Seattle. Strongest leg. Greg Zuerlein. We'll end this list with the kicking category. And it's a nice reminder that kickers are athletes as well. He's not as accurate as Justin Tucker, but LA Rams kicker Greg Zuerlein has the most powerful leg in the NFL. That's why he's earned the nicknames Legatron and Greg the Leg. Zuerlein faced all the pressure in the world in the 2018 NFC Championship game against the New Orleans Saints. He had to make a 57-yarder in a roaring Superdome. Of course, Zuerlein banged it right through with ease. Zuerlein also turned heads when he made a 61-yarder against the Minnesota Vikings in 2015. Matt Prater set the record for the longest field goal at 64 yards as a member of the Denver Broncos in 2013. The mile-high air obviously helped him there. Through 2018, Zuerlein had 2 career field goals of 60-plus yards, and he made 28 of 48 field goal attempts from 50 to 59 yards, all thanks to that powerful leg of his. What changes would you make to our list? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos as well, and my Instagram because, you know, I post photos. Same thing with TPS. TPS, do the thing. Go follow us. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click right down there. Subscribe to TPS on YouTube because, you know, well, it's right there and we post videos all the time. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
On my knee.